Welcome to Bruce Talks, the show that's all about making crop insurance make sense. I'm Bruce Lantzky, a crop insurance agent with over 25 years of experience and a producer right here in Northeast Iowa.
Okay, everybody, for this episode, we're going to do a quick overview on crop hail coverage. Many people say, well, I've got my crop insurance coverage. Isn't that going to be good enough to protect my top end and take care of everything that I need? Let's dig into this and see whether the hail coverage might be the right idea for you. So what's the problem? Well, a 15-minute hailstorm can wipe out a profit without triggering any type of multi-peril claim. Multi-peril coverage, the MPCI, it covers the total loss. It's not that partial or high value top end, which is going to be your profit bushels. You can lose income and never get paid for it. What does crop hail really do? It's kind of a surgical risk management tool, if you want to put it that way. Offers acre by acre protection. It covers partial field damage. It's private. It's not federally subsidized. There's a lot of flexibility and customization to these policies. The bottom line is it's going to protect what the federal coverage misses. So why do producers use it? Well, it's going to pay if just one corner of the field gets hit. If they're calling for storms, you can get coverage bound in 2 hours. You can buy it in the middle of a season. And it also works alongside your multi-peril coverage. There's no waiting, no averaging, no gaps. You can still provide coverage on an individual field basis versus if you have enterprise units. So I've heard of disappearing deductibles. How's this going to work? Here's how it works. As your losses increase, the amount of your deductible continues to get smaller. So the result is if you have a small loss, you're going to get a partial payout. If you have a large loss, you're going to get 100% of your payout. You get to keep more of your claim when it matters the most. If you have a very harsh hailstorm, hail event, you're going to end up getting more of your dollars. So here's a big misconception. If I buy hail, I'm going to be covered for wind, correct? No, not automatically. It's a big misconception. Your standard hail policy is only going to cover hail, fire, and lightning. It's not wind. Now, you can have wind, but you have to have that added to it as an additional endorsement. What's the difference between GreenSnap and lodging? GreenSnap is a product that will ensure your corn coverage for stalks that break below the ear, and it's going to be 100% of a loss on that plant. Wind, on the other hand, is going to be for lodging if the corn's bent or flattened and the combine can't harvest it. If it bends but it doesn't break, GreenSnap may not pay, but wind will. So there's a lot of misinformation about this as well. If you buy GreenSnap, that doesn't necessarily give you wind coverage. But if you buy wind coverage, it will provide GreenSnap coverage for you. Something to keep track of on that. Extra harvest expense. So when the crop goes down, the costs go up. You got more fuel, you got more time, you got slower harvest. This endorsement will pay for that extra work. A lot of times it's 8% of whatever the hail policy that you're purchasing. So if you buy $500 worth of hail coverage, it'll provide you an additional $40 an acre. What's that $40 going to be used for? Well, if you have to combine one way and you have to drive back to the other end of the field, that's what the extra $40 is for the extra time and the fuel to have to pick up all the corn to get it the best that you can. What about replant coverage? That's also another endorsement on a hail policy. The federal rule says, okay, in order to get paid for replant coverage, I'm going to have 20 acres or 20% of my entire unit damaged in order to get paid. The payout on federal crop insurance is 3 bushels times the spring price for beans and 8 bushels times the spring price for corn. And this year it happens to be that both of them are right around that $33 an acre, $34 an acre of a payment. With hail, if you buy a replant coverage on your hail, if you have a 10-acre field that's damaged and you need to replant it, the hail policy would pay based on the first acre. The federal government's policy, you would be short and not get a payment until you were up to 20% of that field. So there's additional coverages on any hail policy. There's wind, there's GreenSnap, there's a replant coverage, there's fire, which also includes if it's caused by your combine, and there's transit to the first storage point. If you bundle these, it may reduce your cost by upwards up to 10%. The idea with crop hail is to protect that margin. Okay, your federal policy is going to protect the floor. You can target some high yield fields. You can focus on your most profitable acres, and you can build coverage around your operation. What affects these costs? Well, the premium depends on the crop type, obviously. The location. Many in the eastern corn belt have much cheaper hail rates than the western corn belt. What kind of coverage level you want per acre, and what kind of deductible you're looking at. Hail policies are about as flexible as you can make them. Really what we're looking to do is meet your needs. So what's the final takeaway? Don't wait for the storm to come. I always say that if you are going to buy a hail premium, the premium's still going to be the same whether I buy it March 20th or whether I buy it August 15th. It's just the fact that I've had coverage. If I've elected to have hail earlier in the year, I know I've had that coverage the entire time. Because the big thing is the coverage has to be in place before it hits. If you make that phone call and it doesn't get bound before those 2 hours, there's a question of whether you're going to have coverage or not. So ask yourself, what are your profit bushels worth? That's really what we're looking at here, is trying to ensure the top end to make sure that if anything happens, you'd receive some indemnity to try to make you whole. So protect this year's margins before the next storm happens. Reach out, get customized hail quote from me. We can take a look. We can figure out what makes sense for you and your operation. So with that, hey, I hope you guys have a great spring. Hope that weather treats everybody well, and I hope that we have a very profitable year. If you have any questions, reach out to me on social media or give me a phone call sometime. Love to talk with you. We'll talk to you next time.